Greetings and welcome back to everyone to the Angry Chicken Brawl. This one is about miniature warfare, or miniature warfare, depends on how you want to pronounce it. I don't really fall on a certain side of that fence. I'm Garrett Weinzerl. With me today is Willie Dills Gregory and Jocelyn Moffat. Welcome back, guys.
Hello, hello.
Can't hear you,
no, we
Dills.
can't hear Dills again.
So this has been the episode that tried to start at least 3 times, but we had a lot of technical difficulties.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine, you guys.
How are
There
you?
you
It's
go.
gonna be okay. I promise. Squarespace to the rescue. All right.
Anytime something good happens, Squarespace. Squarespace.com, use the code TAC, 10% off your first order.
Garrett with the plugs.
Oh, yeah. I was not even joking. Was out to dinner at the beginning, actually this past weekend for my birthday with like my buddy Steve. He's talking about how he needs a website. And I look him square in the face and I go, you can use the code TAC to get 10% off your first order at squarespace.com. And he looks at me. He looks through me through the giant pitcher of beer that we were sharing and just goes, wow, you must say that a lot. I was like, you have no idea.
Only once or twice.
Yep, you have no idea. So that's been a fun story. Shout out to my friend Steve, who is in the middle of his residency now that he has his MD, and he just found out that his the doctor in charge of him, giant Angry Chicken fan.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah. I don't know
Out of
how.
nowhere.
I don't know how it came up, but he was blowing his boss's mind by telling him all these stories about he and I growing up together. So that was fun. That was fun. But we're not here to.
I know him.
I know him.
He's my
I know
friend.
him. Yes, my friend talks like Will Ferrell and Elf about Santa Claus. So
Santa. Yeah.
exactly. But we're here to talk about miniature warfare, the first new brawl of the year. Yes. Well, I guess technically Return of Mechazod kind of changed things up.
Mechazod was different.
Yeah,
Different
new-ish.
classes.
Different classes, yeah. But
yeah.
last week we had a repeat, and we had
But this is the first like brand new one. Right?
brand spanking new. Okay, right off the bat, just got to get off my chest. Was anyone else as disappointed as I that we didn't get brand new graphics for every single card in the game that made it look like a little Warhammer 40K figurine on the board?
Oh, that would have been awesome, actually. Or just make their portraits much smaller or something.
Yeah.
Actually shrink them down. But
Oh,
yeah,
that would have
no.
been a clever way to handle it.
Yeah.
This
There are
is-
some weird graphical glitches though, because Hobgoblin is very popular.
Mhm.
I'm sure you guys have seen this, but when you play Hobgoblin, then the creature comes out at its original stats, then turns into a 1/1, then buffs to a 3/3. It's very weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I was honestly, when we got into this, by the way, if you haven't played Miniature Warfare, we should probably explain what it is.
Probably.
The whole pitch for Miniature Warfare is that Shrinkmeister has turned all of our Hearthstone cards into toys. So all of our minions are now 1/1s, and they cost 1 mana.
Yep.
But they still have whatever effect they had on the card. So
Still their text.
never has a vanilla card seemed worse than in the Miniature Warfare Tavern Brawl. So, anyways,
Well, let's go a little bit further and explain that they actually. So how it technically works is every card actually has a buff on it. If you hover over it, that it says it has turned it into a 1/1, and that is an unsilenceable buff. You can't silence. You can't play like a Boulder Fist Ogre and then silence it and turn it back into a 6/7. Like it has like a permanent buff on it. So that's like kind of how it works. It's weird.
So we're
but things can still
assuming-
grow beyond the 1/1 that they are.
right.
But they just all come out as 1/1s and they all cost 1 mana.
Exactly. So I was really surprised that Hobgoblin even worked because of the way that this functions. I assumed because of the fact that it had that effect on it that it enters the board first at the stats that it is at, and then is
Yeah.
turned into a 1/1. So I'm assuming they must have gone out of their way to code it so that this actually worked with Hobgoblin.
I think so, because technically it shouldn't, right? Like it should come out as whatever it is and then get the buff, right? So like you said, it shouldn't work, and I think they just realized like that's no fun.
Oh yeah,
What's the point of having a
absolutely.
whole like
that's
one army which you can't Hobgoblin it?
like that for me was I'm like yes, Hobgoblin everywhere. It should have just been called the Hobgoblin Brawl.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I think the Alex Straza Brawl.
Yeah,
Or
Alex
the-
Strauss,
yeah.
the Kraken Brawl.
Yeah, Alex Strauza Brawl, Kraken Brawl.
For those who don't know, who haven't figured it out yet, every single class has an OTK in this brawl. And the OTK is you play Alex Straza, knock your opponent down to 15. That's 1 mana.
Yep.
Brand Bronzebeard, 1 mana,
Yep.
and then double Kraken, hit your face for 16 because it
Yep.
does the 4 damage twice.
Yep.
So knock him to 15, then do 16 damage with 2 Krakens. So
Man.
4 mana OTK in every single class. That's a neutral OTK.
Oh, Bronzebeard, what have you to say for yourself?
Yeah. So anybody could just put that in their deck, and if they draw correctly, and then you just fill your deck with like draw cards, right? It's like Novice Engineers, Azure Drakes, Gnomish Inventors, all that stuff.
Yeah, so you build Miracle insert class here.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, but that's no fun. That's not what we did, right? We didn't just sit here
Well,
all day just
depends on if
cracketing
you
our.
like to get 100 wins or not, if you're crazy, but
Why?
100 wins.
Why? This is why I love Brawl, man. This is
don't
why
know.
I know like when Tavern Brawl first came out, we're like, what's the point of playing multiple times? You only get 1 pack. I can't believe it. They should give you something for 10 wins. Screw past Garrett, man. He was an idiot. You know what I love about Tavern Brawl? You know what I just love more than anything? You get 1 pack, and after that, it's just for fun. So there's no reason for everybody and their mother to be playing this stupid Kraken OTK deck.
exactly. No, I agree. I think the 1 pack is perfect for 1 win because if you like it, you just keep playing, and if you don't like it, well, bugger off Brawl. I'm back to my ranked whatever, So
Yep.
I don't want them to change how that is for sure. I think it's right.
Yeah. So overall, I really dug this Brawl. I've been having a good time with it. So feel free
I
to
actually
repeat.
did my 5 win. I didn't throw back my 5 Brawl win quest. I did it.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I completed
Wow.
it. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep playing this Brawl. It's awesome.
I think this is probably my favorite of the constructed brawls. But I still don't love constructed brawls, and I was trying to figure out like what the problem was because I like solving puzzles, and this is basically just like a new puzzle every week. And honestly, I think it's because we do the brawl episode on Thursday that like I feel like I have to do it, and then if I want to just like jump in and play a few games, I can't. So then when it's a constructed brawl, I'm like, oh man. Lame. And
So you're
like,
gonna
this
figure
is the
stuff
show.
out.
Your
now,
complaint is
damn it.
you don't have enough time to kind of just enjoy it, to kind of
Yeah,
take
like
your
I
time
completely
and
forgot that I completely forgot about Brawl yesterday, which meant that I had to do it today. And then I was just like, oh man, how am I going to do this? And I just kind of threw stuff together and I played my game and I won, but I was just like, man, I wish I had more time to like sit down and do this because I was supposed to stream with Ashley doing some heroes later on. So I just didn't have a ton of time. And to have to then construct my deck, it takes that much more time. So I think I'll probably enjoy it a little bit more come like Saturday or Sunday when I can just sit down and play and, test things out. Like I didn't even think of Hobgoblin. I was just like, well, Nefarian, Alexstrasza, they're pretty sweet. Boom, because boom reasons. Like,
Well, Jocelyn,
So-
on behalf of the internet, allow me to say to you, that sounds like a personal problem.
it totally is. It definitely is. I prefer the jump in and have fun brawls that are the pre-made decks.
Fair enough. I like things about both, and then there's brawls in both of those genres that I also don't like. So
I really like Brawls like this because I like figuring out cool ways to build a deck with their new rules. So
yeah,
like the time when we actually got to use Astral Communion and stuff, that was awesome. Although
Yep.
I will say this though, it sucks for people who don't have a lot of cards.
no,
Because I went over to my EU account and I was like, I cannot compete. I don't have, like, I have Malagos, I don't have Alexstrasza. So, okay, I guess I don't get to play that deck. Like, I don't have Ronin. I don't have, on my NA account, it's like I have all the stuff. I can play with all the tools. So I wouldn't mind them for the constructed ones doing that idea we talked about where you just have access to all the cards just for the brawl.
yeah.
And it might be a cool way to, like, advertise the cards. So I don't know. Maybe I would like them to revisit that idea.
Yeah.
Or,
And it's not
or
like
visit
you-
it for the first time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say.
We're revisiting. They have never visited.
You don't have to have Alexstrasza to win this, but you just need what you do need though is like a good amount of not vanilla minions. You just need minions that have good effects.
There's other ways to do it for sure, but when you're going up against guys who Alexstrasza you on turn 1, you're like, damn it, I guess I just lose.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It is one of those things. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
But I played 3 games today. I lost once, 2 to do with Alexstrasza, but the other 2, neither of us drew into Alexstrasza, and I ended up winning. Like it was a fun game. I had Alexstrasza.
I mean, you can still make like a flood deck or something like that with the runts and like the things that make multiple tokens.
Yep,
but
that's what I've got in there.
Yeah, it's just not. That's not as strong though, because then they, arcane explosion you one time and all your crap is gone.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, like the broken combos I think are really the way. If you want to have like if you want to play this a lot and have a high win percentage,
Yeah.
it's the broken combos that I think are going to do it.
Well, Dills, just in your honor, I made sure to include Raid Leader in my Flood Paladin deck.
All right.
And I won against a mage who got off both arcane explosions against me, so it still works.
Yeah,
Still fine.
You can definitely get away. I mean, you could also play stuff with Divine Shield on it and things like that, or Death Rattles and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
mages are great. I did find though that my mage opponents had issues dealing with anything that I put a Blessing of Kings on.
that's true. Yeah, because I'm not running in mine. I'm not running like Flame Strike or anything like that. Like all of my removal is like Arcane Missiles and Explosive Sheep and stuff like that.
And even if you were, you would need 1 extra damage to kill something with a Blessing of Kings on it.
True.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I got to run a bunch of little 1/1s into it or get really lucky with Arcane Missiles, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, overall, I think Mage is great. But this particular Brawl, I mean, you started the episode saying, "Hey, everyone's got to know TK," but this Brawl in particular, I think every class has a pretty damn good chance. I didn't walk away from this one thinking, man, X class really ran away with this one. I was seeing all over the place people coming up with really awesome decks for all the classes.
Yeah. Yeah, even like Hunter has like Savannah Highmane, ways to make multiple things. And what is it, Dread Scale? It's pretty good here.
And all the tokens, though, I think we should probably mention, even the stuff that you make from spells comes out as 1/1s.
Yeah,
because
any body on the board has that buff.
Yeah, which was kind of crazy, and I didn't realize because I put Rafam in my deck, and then so I picked like the 3/3 flood the board thing, and I was like, this is gonna be so good. I'm gonna have 3/3s. Other guys gonna have 1/1s. No, I just get 1/1.
Yeah, no,
And
you
you paid 10 mana for it.
Yeah.
too,
Yep.
with the spell.
Yeah, no,
Or you could have
want,
paid 1 to do that same thing with the Nixia.
With Onyxia, yeah.
yeah, you want the
Mistakes were made.
you want the +10/+10 spell. That's what you want.
Yeah.
'Cause no one can deal with it.
Or the deal 10 damage, because that'll kill
Yeah,
almost
it
anything.
could be really. I could have made any other life choice.
My very first game, before I really knew how it functioned, playing against Mage drops Neurobean Egg, and I go, oh man, that's genius. Why didn't I play that? Because it makes the egg a 1/1, and then it pops out a 4/4, and then I popped it, and now it popped a 1/1. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was great. I had such a good time. I was laughing.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff though too, like Mirror Image makes 2 1/1s with taunt now instead of 0/2s.
Yeah.
Like any minion on the board just has this buff.
Yep.
So
Super
it
cool.
is super bizarre.
Super cool. I don't know. I love this Brawl to pieces. It made me giddy. I like being giddy. It's fun.
I don't think I've seen Giddy Brawl Garrett like
Yeah,
ever.
it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of like off the top of my head of the other Brawls that I really enjoyed, but I know there were some. But yeah, no, this one I just had a stupid fun time with.
Well, the fact too that everything is cost 1 mana is huge, I think, to this Brawl. Because imagine if they had done the same type of thing, but gone like it still costs its original mana cost. Every like low cost thing would be super strong, right?
Right,
Like,
and it'd feel like a slog.
Yeah. Like a Haunted Creeper would just be OP as hell in this if that was the case. But the fact that everything costs 1 means like you can throw it. It doesn't like you're not thinking about curve at all while building your deck. You're literally just thinking about what the card does, right?
Yep.
And it's just awesome to kind of like build a deck that way where you just throw mana out the window. Like all you care about is like, okay, this effect I can pair with this effect, and then So Questing Adventure is having its day again. The Kraken is having its day.
I've got a
it's really
quest.
cool to see these cards come out.
Yeah, it was just it was fun. It was a blast from the past, man. I've never been more excited to see Stormwind Champion drawn into my hand. It's
Oh
like,
God, Stormwind Champion is
oh,
OP
yeah,
as hell.
you
man.
are a champion, sir.
Yep.
You are today.
By the way, you
Yeah.
know who else is a champion? Dreadsteed.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys have messed with Dreadsteed yet, but
Dreadsteed is a sick baller in
in a world where everything is a 1/1, the Dreadsteed is king because
my friends. You bow to no one.
yeah. So that was like I think the first thing I thought of was Dreadsteed, and then I played against the mage and he did the Alex Strauss and Malagos thing. I was like, oh, I see.
I got Malagos into, or like this was played against me, Malagos into Archmage, Coin, Arcane Missiles. And it was like 8 damage. It was turn 2, and I was like, oh, I hate you a little.
I am the essence of magic.
Oh yeah, Malagos is back in a big way too. Yeah, but so I had a game where it went turn 1 Alex Straza, coin, Emperor Thorson, and then the next turn I had Archmage Antonidas, Ronan. I was like, "You're dead. You were super dead." It was awesome.
Yeah, it's good. So what was around the table real quick? What was the card that you were kind of the most pleasantly surprised by? Ignoring Alex Straza and Malagos.
Okay.
We have to have some type of
Faceless
interesting answer
Manipulator.
Oh.
Yeah. Faceless Manipulator costing 1 mana means you can enable some crazy combos. Now, that being said, I'm facelessing a Malagos, but so maybe my answers technically doesn't count. But Faceless Manip, I was like, whoa, 1 mana Faceless Manip. This is crazy. So I think that card came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I think for me, Wobbling Runts, because it's like a 1/1 into 3 1/1s all of a sudden. And yeah, I haven't seen that card played at all. So to kind of get somebody to actually play it, and they played like 2 on the same turn, and I was just like, what is even happening right now? Where did Runts come from?
Yeah, you took mine. So I guess I will go the route of, as a Paladin player, it was funny just because I could go, hey guys, Tyrion, still good.
Yep.
Still really good.
Tyrion's always good. MVP.
By the way, Keeper of Oldemon works still, right? Doesn't it? Or did you try that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I have that in my. I linked to the deck that I built. I didn't meta this at all. I was
yeah,
like,
let me check it out.
This is my dude. I don't have Malagos. There ain't no Malagos in there. And
this is awesome.
I had a damn good time with this deck.
Did you try Blood Knight in your deck yet?
No.
Blood Knight would still work too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Blood Knight would be cool because this does have.
Because you got Minibot, Coghammer.
That's it though.
Tyrion.
Oh, and Tyrion. Yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna do that, you should definitely put an Argent Protector.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And maybe a second Coghammer. So.
Yeah, you overload on the shields, and also too, what we call it, the 4/5 with taunt. That's now a 1/1 with taunt and shield. That would also be good too.
4/5 with Sunwalker.
The Sun Fury. No, wait, what is it called?
Sunwalker.
Sunwalker.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sun
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the card, man. You remember back in like beta Hearthstone? I was like, this card,
was so good.
nothing is better than this card.
That's when everybody ran Black Knight though.
That is true.
They're
That is
like,
true.
yeah, Sunwalker. Oh,
Black Knight. And I don't think I got Black Knight until GVG came out too. So I was just like,
You got it just when no one used it ever again.
yep, pretty much. I still have it around, every now and then.
Black Knight was my first ever golden legendary.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude. I wish that card would I don't know. That card's so swingy and cool, and it just doesn't work.
I think I
Doesn't work
remember
anymore.
you mentioning that on the show. I feel like I remember you being. That might have been one of the first times we had the discussion of, do you dust a gold legendary and make the
Probably, yeah.
legendary you want? So there's a question: do you still have your golden Black Knight?
I do. Actually, the only 2 golden legendaries I've ever dusted were Anubarak and not Dreadscale, but the other Hunter legendary. What is it? It's the
King
one
Crush?
that came out at the same time as Dreadscale.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, anyway, so I dusted those 2 golden ones because I opened 20 packs and I got a noob and golden version, and then that one and the golden version. So I dusted the
course.
golden versions because I had
Yeah,
those
of
2
course you did.
legendaries from that set of opening packs. It was ridiculous.
Acid Maw. Thank you, Cheesy Bob.
Acid Maw, yes. So I got Acid Maw in the golden version and a noob and the golden
Cool.
version. So I
May
dusted the
an
golden
actual
versions.
giant worm come and eat you one day. Erupt from the floor of the Trial of Champions
Yep.
and devour you whole.
But generally, no, I don't dust my golden cards. But I was just like, meh, I kind of need the dust.
Yeah. The other thing I like about this brawl, speaking of Sunwalker and Anoyatron, exactly the same level of quality in this brawl.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing because you think like Azure Drake and Novice Engineer kind of the same, except one gives you spell power.
Right.
It's just it's
But
you can't
Sunwalker
compare anything like the way you usually do.
Yeah,
So-
but Sunwalker and Anoyatron actually the same. Unless you're running a mech deck, then Anoyatron is better. But
Yep, there you go.
Which, by the way, mech deck's pretty damn good in this. If you're going to do a flood deck, mech might not a bad way to go. Still do it with Hobgoblin, though.
Yeah, okay.
So, you get a Mech Warper out and a Hobgoblin, and you just deploy the rest of your hand.
So Mech Warper makes everything 0, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah?
I guess so, yeah.
It doesn't have the
Okay.
can't be reduced below 1, correct?
It doesn't say that on it. No, you can make things 0.
Okay, so
That's,
then, yeah, it would be 0.
Because Thorson makes everything cost 0, so
Yep.
I would assume that it works the same way
Yep.
then.
Yeah, Mech Warper is ridiculous. So, fun stuff.
Guildhall podcast in the chat. Obsidian Destroyer is the same as Hogger. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that are exactly
Yeah, are the same now, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's interesting. Yeah. Would be a balanced nightmare if this was played professionally.
All right, who's putting on a tournament? I want to see this. This will be actually pretty epic.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely. If there's one of those Tavern Brawl tournaments going on this weekend, this is the time I want to watch it. I want
I
to
would
see
actually
this.
be into that.
Oh, but it would just, you know what? It would just come down to Alex draws a Kraken brand.
Probably, but still. Maybe I should run one on my channel.
Aren't you going
Not
to
this,
be?
you can't this weekend, though. It's Taco.
Yeah, there's Taco, and you're
What?
going to be at PAX.
I could do whatever I want. Oh man,
I'm my old man.
Fine.
I ain't married
I
to
live
you,
alone.
podcast.
I get to do whatever I want. No pants ever.
Wonderful. All right, so on a scale of whatever ridiculous grade you want to give this, what did we? What did
1
we
to
think
1 on a scale of 1 to 1.
You give
Just
miniature.
give it a 1.
Give it a
Give it a
1.
one?
Give it a 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I liked
I'm gonna go with
miniature.
1.
Well, I'm going to use your scale, but I liked miniature warfare so much that I'm going to assume that there's a hobgoblin on my grading scale when I deploy my grade and give it. I'm going to say it's a 3-3.
So it's a 3. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Pretty good.
Yeah, I
I mean,
really
I had to
liked
think
it.
a lot, but it came out as a 1. But, you know. If this is a repeat brawl, I'll probably give it a 1, but at least for this time around. First time around, 1.
Cool. Wonderful. Well, before we take a brawl, email, let's thank squarespace.com for sponsoring this episode of The Angry Chicken, where you can use the code TAC to get 10% off your first order and build yourself a lovely website with very little stress and sweat. You just kind of be like, what template do I want to start with? Well, that one's pretty. I'll take that one. And then make it your own. It's good. It's nice. Check it out.
Garrett, did I ever tell you about the time Squarespace saved my life?
Actually, I believe that was your lead-in the last time we had one of these discussions.
Well, Squarespace has saved my life a lot of times. Most recently, it was my house was about to get torn down, so I went up to the attic and I found a map to One-Eyed Willie's treasure. And me and my older brother, who's super cool, my Asian friend who like really makes a lot of gadgets and stuff, we went out and we found the treasure on a ship
Oh,
in like a weird cave. Yeah,
Did you now?
and
was there...
my friend Chunk ate some candy,
Okay.
and
All right. Did he do the truffle shuffle?
he did the truffle shuffle. That
Okay.
was the highlight of the whole thing.
Ah, all right
But
then.
Squarespace was there when I was trying to read the map. Squarespace told me how. So thank you, Squarespace.
I'm glad.
Would have never found One-Eyed Me's treasure without you.
I'm glad. I hope when you got on the pirate ship, it was full of ninjas, and someone
Yeah, surprisingly so.
And someone-
Edmund Van Cleef was there.
accused you of being a lapdog. All of you.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yes, all of us.
Yeah. So, and with that
So
in mind,
thanks, Squarespace.
Thank you, Squarespace.
Did it again.
Build it beautiful, even if what you're building is a pirate ship in a cave. So, let's take an email.
Hello?
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
Just quickly, do you get my message?
Yep.
Oh,
Hello, brother.
No. No, I'm not going to do that again. That was
You
weird.
should add that to the bumper there.
Send your emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. If it's for the Tavern Brawl, include the word brawl in it somewhere to make us finding it a little easier. Thank you. Blamer Jam wrote in this week with a really fun name and said, "Greetings, riled roosters. After playing a near metric cluck ton of the Mechazod Brawl, I came to the sad conclusions you guys came to on the last episode. You need the right RNG to actually beat him, and having any sort of bad luck will more than likely lose you the game. I propose some reworks to Mechazod to make it more like an actual raid boss. 1. Mechazod should only act on the end of the second player's turn. 2. Skills need actual conditions to trigger instead of just random chances of occurring, like kill the lore walker. Also, What do you think of creating a heroic version of the Brawl that works alongside it, only accessible by playing with people on your friends list? This heroic mode would use Mechazod's current challenging state and would give the players three packs for completing it once through. I hope these ideas spark some interest, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Love the show, and I hope you have a nice cluckin' evening. Why, thank you, Blammer Jam. And I love your use of cluck in place of the word. Yeah, you thought I was going to say it there, didn't you?
A little bit.
First off, just because we've gotten so many emails and tweets from people, I just want to get this out of the way before we move into kind of retreading on how much we felt Mechazod was down to RNG. Got a ton of emails and tweets from people saying they had no problem beating this thing or beating it multiple times. So,
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and again, as Blammer Jam says, and as I think we said, it really does come down to RNG. I mean, I think there was one that Garrett and I played where it was literally he overclocked and then did the damage to the hero and then overclocked and did the damage to the hero over and over and over, and we died in 4 turns.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it really came down to RNG. It's yes, you can have a great experience in Mechazod and you can do everything in your control and die. So yeah, it just, I didn't enjoy it very much this time around.
Again, love the idea of it. Love its execution. Great. Cool.
The Priest Pally version was so much better.
Tweak the rules a little bit, please.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. What I really liked about this email was just the idea of having a heroic version that you could do with your friends. I think that would be just really, really cool. I don't know if we'd actually see a change in the reward, but yeah, just having a normal version of a boss and then a heroic version of a boss that you have to defeat with friends. Maybe we'll see that in the next adventure, maybe another tavern brawl. I don't know, but I think 2 different difficulty levels is really cool.
Would you
It's an
guys?
interesting idea. I doubt we'd see it in Brawl though.
Yeah.
But it's a cool idea for sure.
Would you guys be interested in maybe an adventure, maybe a wing of an adventure being entirely co-op?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I think most people have enough Hearthstone friends. It shouldn't be a problem.
Don't even need a friend.
Well,
if you go in
yeah,
alone,
even
it
if you
pairs
don't
you
have
up.
friends, you just randomly pair up with somebody.
Pairs
right?
you up
So,
like Mechazod.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would necessarily like a random person, only because there's so many people that just troll. And if you had to get through an adventure and you had to get cards, especially since we know how powerful adventure cards are, I think I'd get pretty pissed off pretty quickly.
Well, I think the regular version would be super easy, like everything is
Yeah.
in adventures. But the heroic version would probably get frustrating for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think I'd be up for it, just as a one-off thing. Or I don't know about a whole wing, maybe 4 bosses you have to do. That might be a little bit much, but it'd be interesting if Mechazod is in an adventure, right? It's now Mechazod is a boss you fight, and you fight him the same type of way.
Yeah.
It would be cool
Choose
maybe
your
if
class, build your own deck, that type of thing.
if it was maybe 1 boss per wing was co-op, so that way you kind of get the experience every week, but you don't have to do the whole entire wing that way. Still, 3, 4, 5 bosses that are co-op, but just kind of spread out a little bit.
I think as long as it's tuned right, I'd be really interested in it. So I definitely would prefer to have the option of being paired up with someone randomly than being forced to have friends, because, oh, geez. I mean, with friends like
Well,
mine.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who play this game in a vacuum and, don't talk to people about it and don't go to Reddit and don't whatever. And I talked about this on Stormcast the other day. It's not the world we're used to because we read things about games and whatever. There's a lot of people who just play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They don't know anybody else who plays the game. They don't really look for anybody else to play the game with. So things like that can end up sucking for those people. So got to keep that in mind when you're Blizzard and you're making this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Well, thanks for your email, Blammerjam. I also just want to say Blammerjam a few more times. It's fun.
I don't blame you. It's fantastic.
It's not as fun. I think the last Brawl episode we had a review from Beady Butt. I mean, that is still such a fun name to say, but Blammerjam pretty close up there. So thanks, and once again, send your emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. That's going to do it for Tac Brawl number 12 about miniature warfare. Wallfare. Yeah, Garrett does words. Thanks again to our epic patrons, for they are entirely responsible for this episode. So if you don't like it, blame our patrons. But
Yep.
we're not going to blame them.
If we're mucking up your, what did the guy say in the review? We had one bad review. It was like, well, why'd you put it on another feed? You're mucking up my podcast something. I was like, what?
The answer is because we had people complaining about it being on the same feed, so I've come to the conclusion that I cannot make anyone happy.
No,
Exactly.
no, definitely not. No, it'll never happen. But my thinking was like, well, just don't subscribe to this one then. Like, easy fix. So simple.
Well, I think it was. I think the complaint there is that he wants to listen to both, but he'd rather just have them on the same feed.
I get it.
And I get that. That's fine. But I don't know. We're seeing a bunch of complaints. It's like, guys, I don't mind it. I just don't like it. I don't need it cluttering up my feed. I was like, whatever. Fine. Okay, I'll do it on my own. Doesn't matter. I'm not apologizing for it. This is how it is.
No,
Deal with it.
I think it's better this way, personally. I'm behind it.
Also, I really like the sweet-ass album art I made for Tac Brawl, so I'm
It is cool, man.
I'm kind of happy. I don't usually toot my own horn, but when I do, it's because I like the album art I made for iTunes. So thanks again to our patrons, guys. Seriously, we really do appreciate it. To get a little mushy on you guys, I don't think any of us thought that we would be calling this a job when we started it, so it's pretty sweet that it kind of is one now, except we don't think about it that way because it's a lot of fun to do. So thank you guys. For this episode, let's thank Justin J., Andres G., Daniel S., Timothy O., and Nathan J. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And also, thanks for the iTunes reviews, folks. Thanks to XX, Chavez XX, Tempest22, Spider 9080, DK, and Ludacris10. Luda!
Are these reviews from the Brawl?
It's from the Brawl.
Page?
Yes,
Nice.
the Angry Chicken Brawl. So keep those iTunes reviews
those coming, guys.
Thank you.
Get Get 2 Angry Chicken shows to like the top 50 of iTunes. That would be sweet.
would
It's
be so cool.
already done.
wait, what?
Thanks, guys.
Of video games, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean-
Okay, let's go for top 10.
Okay.
Lots of reviews. We'll get us to top 10. It's
Gotcha.
tough though up there. Have you guys noticed how many like Paragon and IGN podcasts are coming out these days?
Yes, it's really hard.
It's like crazy how many new gaming podcasts are coming out.
Thanks, Rooster Teeth.
Well, they took their other one, which isn't a gaming podcast, out of gaming, so I thank them for that because, that was like at the top for a really long time, and it wasn't really a gaming show. So.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with like the really large website outlets, but I'm pretty proud that we do compete with them. So
we do a good job, and it's thanks to you guys. So
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
Yeah, so thank you guys very much. Find us on amove.tv and youtube.com/amovetv. Thanks to our Patreon producers, Declan H. and LVE. Get our coffee mugs, pint glasses, and everything else over at bit.ly/amovestore. Follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast, and we'll be back Monday night at 5 p.m. Eastern on the AMove TV Twitch for our next Prime show. Thanks to Alpha Geek Radio for a mobile live stream and BrianGriffithMusic.com for our music. Dills, where can folks find you?
This weekend, you can find me at PAX South. So if anybody is there, please shoot me a tweet, and we'll meet up and we'll hang out. I'm not doing any special events. I'm just chilling. So I'll probably be like maybe playing in the Hearthstone event, maybe doing some Magic. We shall see. I don't really know. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to have some cocktails. It's going to be great. So come join me for that. Follow me on Twitter at Willie Dills, and the stream is twitch.tv/WillieDillsSF.
Wonderful. Jocelyn, how about you?
Best place to find me is over on Twitter. I am at Joss Plays, which is the same as my Twitch channel. You can also find me right here on AMove TV every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Gamers In. But before we go to Garrett, I just wanted to do a PSA for everyone who is either playing or signed up for Taco. We have almost 200 people signed up so far. So
Oh my
that's the
God.
128 people in the bracket and then over 50 people on the waiting list. So it's getting kind of crazy.
All right. And make sure, guys, make sure you tune in Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/AMOTV. Jocelyn and I and maybe Dills will be casting the finals.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll set up somewhere and do it.
It's totally okay if you don't show up because then I don't need to make a new overlay. Just FYI.
But we totally want you there. So if you can, that would be fantastic.
I don't know. Sounds like Garrett doesn't want me there. So.
I just noticed before the show, I was like going through overlays. I'm like, crap, I only have a 2-slotter because like for the last couple of ones, one of us couldn't show up.
Yeah, I
Oh,
missed
yeah,
one,
that's
and
true.
then
Yeah.
Dill's missed the last one, I think. So
Yeah. So I was like,
or,
shoot.
yeah, one. But anyways,
Need to make a new
so
overlay.
yeah. Anyways, the PSA. You make sure that by tomorrow morning you have gone into the bracket, hit the settings button, and changed your display name to have your battle tag and your 3 class choices. If you haven't done that by tomorrow morning, I will be editing the participant list, and I will be moving you down if you haven't done it because we have a lot of people who want to play. So follow the instructions, please, 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 by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you might lose your spot. So.
And also, you can't complain that you didn't listen to the Brawl episode and didn't hear this because there's also been a blast of emails sent directly to you, whatever email you signed up to challenge with. So check your emails, folks.
Yep. So I've tried to communicate in as many different ways as I can. So I've done it through the site. I've done it on Twitter. Now you're hearing it in your ear holes. So
By the way, I don't
follow
know.
the instructions.
I don't know why we're this concerned. We've only had one person ever complain
I know.
about the way this is handled. So, anyways,
But just in case, I'm just saying.
cool. PSA. Follow me on Twitter
PSA.
at Garrett Art. Check out my new podcast. Let's talk about Star Wars. New episode is up. It's Tom Merritt, Jenny Josephson, and I talking about Star Wars. That'll do it. Thank you, Squarespace.com again. Use the code TAC. Get 10% off your first order. Job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes.